Greetings, it is MaxoDiddly here, and today I am here with another Python tutorial to help you get an A in your coursework or exam. And today we're here with how to validate a postcode using a regex pattern. So let's get right into it. Firstly, we have a variable that represents our user input, and I've just given it a UK postcode. And I would like to just say this validation will work for any postcode format you desire. As we're using a regex pattern, you can change the regex pattern to match your country's postcode format. I would also like to just say that this tutorial is covering how to validate user input, not how to obtain user input from the user. Then we're going to do print valid postcode user input. Print is going to print something to the screen. Valid postcode will return a true or a false, depending on if the postcode's valid or not. And user input, that's going to be what we give to the valid postcode function to validate. So let's go and define it. Firstly, import the RE library, which will allow us to use regex. After that, we're going to do def valid postcode input : So what's going on here? Well, we're defining our function. It's called valid postcode, and we're going to take in input as a parameter. This will represent the postcode we wish to validate. Then we're going to do return bool re.match. Then we're going to do a regex pattern. This will be in the description, by the way, so you can copy and paste it, or you can swap it with a regex pattern for a postcode in your country. And then we do a comma. Then we do input. So what's going on here? Well, re.match is going to it's going to check if our string matches a regex we give it. And the regex pattern is basically a string that defines a bunch of rules that another string has to follow. And a match implies that the string follows the rules of the regex string. If there's no match, then it doesn't follow the rules. That's the basics, super basics of it. We'll do a video on regexes in the future, but you put your regex pattern here in the description, obviously, so you can copy and paste it. Then we do a comma, then we do the string we want to check matches the pattern. And we put bool in brackets around this, because by default, this doesn't give you booleans. For instance, if there's no match, you get a none that's returned. Which you might want, and if you do, then don't have this boolean cast around it. But if you do want a boolean, put a boolean around it. I'm doing this because all of the validation tutorials work with booleans, so I want to keep it consistent. And obviously, return is going to return that boolean to where we call the function, and then that function result can get printed, and we can say, yo, your input's valid or not. And that's basically it for this tutorial. So we're going to save, and we're going to hit play. It says true because SW1A0AA is a valid postcode in London. Now we're just going to type a bunch of letters and see what happens. And it's false because that's not a valid UK postcode. I would also like to say you do need to have a space in your postcode. If you put everything together, this particular regex won't like that. So bear that in mind, but again, you can customize it. Anyway guys, thanks for being a great audience. Be sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want more Python tutorials. Thanks for being a great audience.